Well, greetings, damn peeps. I'm Allan of KlarisIP, coming to you live from London, which is this week the global hub of thought leadership in asset management. And I am here today with one of those great thinkers, Matt Westrup of A&E Networks UK. And we're talking data and analytics. Matt, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Perhaps you could start by telling us a little bit about the kinds of dam-related data you've been able to capture and analyze.
Yes, in our world, that's essentially supply chain data, because the digital assets that we're concerned with are our crown jewels. So that is the content that ends up being part of our channels and our brands across Europe. And so the kind of data that we're looking for is being able to surface transparency and insight into the journeys that those assets take, so we can make sure that they go through the right processes, that we can form the right KPIs internally and externally, and that we can find stuff and know what the next best thing to do is. I think the other area that it really helps us with is around capacity planning and resource planning. So we're looking at timelines, we're looking at location, volumes, throughputs, those sorts of things.
And what are maybe some of the higher level business outcomes that you drive towards with these analyses?
Yeah, the KPIs are very important to us, because things have to get to air on time. That's kind of quite a big KPI for us. But also we have high value workflows which separate out certain sorts of assets for certain sort of workflows. We have to be able to share those with other people in a timely manner. And we have to be able to make sure that we have the right storage management in place as well. So all of that helps us manage the supply chain overall. But yeah, it's around KPIs mostly is where we end up.
These are fairly sophisticated concepts. How have you found it sort of most effective means to communicate these to a creative audience or a business audience?
Yeah, that relentlessly is good. I think one of the key things is for trust to grow, you really have to understand what the business requirements are and what those teams are doing and why certain things are important to them. Because I don't think it's going to work if you come from a kind of ivory tower of data and understanding and kind of give dry technical responses. You really have to get under the lid of people and how they work. But essentially, you're asking data to shoulder some of that burden for them. So, which sort of busy creative marketing team wouldn't want help for to lessen the load slightly. So that's generally been our approach. But other than that, really surfacing that data in terms of dashboards and reports, but weaving it into the fabric of those touch points you have with those teams already without making it a big deal.
It's interesting psychology.
Yeah, trust is a massive part of it, and I think one of the things I've learned is that the technology and data is kind of 10% and people to 90%, and if you forget that, then yes, you won't succeed.
Well, how do you approach sort of embedding data thinking into the culture of the organisation?
Well, you have to be serious about making sure it's through every strata of the business, and so it really helps if you've got someone on your senior leadership who can evangelise and understand the benefits. Essentially, I mean, one of the things we've done quite successfully is to have continuous improvement as one of our company goals. Mm-hmm. And of course, a concept like continuous improvement revolves and gravitates around very much about data, because how do you measure what you're improving from and to? And so I think that's a good vehicle to be able to have an easily understandable way of bringing data into an organisation. But then at a micro level, you have to have people in your teams who can go and sit with other teams and understand, what their problems are and how we can help. So that trust builds.
Yes, the people side of things.
Absolutely, it's critical.
So one last question, how are you driving towards automation and the possibilities of machine learning and AI down the road?
So automation's been quite a big focus, and we've done great things in that way, because once you have your data in a well-managed, sanitized state, well, close to, and you're able to create work lists of some sort, in our case a schedule, then you really can use smart tools to be able to drive those supply chain type movements. So the automation's been a natural part of what we've done. AI, and I'm glad you used the word possibility, because I think it's still sorting itself out. I think there are some very real use cases for media in terms of translation, in terms of Actually, in terms of being able to structure unstructured data, so text, scripts, video, audio, all sorts of things that you haven't been able to very easily reach before. So that's quite interesting. But I would say we're not really going to be able to leverage that kind of technology until our data is ready for it.
Well, Matt, thank you very much for sharing your insights and your vision. There's so much here for us to ponder. We're headed back now to the DAM Europe conference. So for now, from Matt and from me, bye-bye.